Let's look at the history of the liar paradox. It's a mystery that has interested thinkers for a long time. Why do you think this paradox is still relevant? Should we think about what historical figures have said about it?
The paradox started in ancient Greece. It was mentioned by the philosopher Epimenides. He said all cretins are liars, which makes him a liar too. It's interesting how such a simple statement can still cause confusion today. Do you find this puzzling as well?
This paradox makes us think about truth and language. Was Epimenides showing a problem with how we communicate, or was he joking? Sometimes I find his simple yet complex statement amazing. What do you all think?
It's also interesting how later philosophers like Augustine and even 20th century thinkers struggled with these ideas. They wanted to understand or solve these statements. How can a simple phrase have so much power over what we understand? Can we ever fully solve a paradox like this?
Those are great points. This paradox has changed how we think about truth. Many philosophers have questioned language because of it. Even if the paradox does not have a clear solution, it has led to big ideas in logic and philosophy. What might be the next step in this ongoing discussion? Let's think about what the liar paradox means for us. Is it more about how we understand people or how we see language?
The paradox changes how we see truth. Philosophers like Kant and Wittgenstein tried to break it down. They asked if language can show reality. Can we ever say something that is completely true?
This is interesting. Language is strong but not perfect. Epimenides' words make us ask if truth is different for everyone. Are we wrong to look for one true answer?
That's right. This paradox has always made us think about contradictions in what we believe. Maybe it shows our limits as people. Isn't that important to think about?
Good ideas. Maybe the liar paradox isn't about fixing it, but about accepting complex and uncertain things in life. Could accepting this help us understand better? Let's look at how the liar paradox affects mathematics and computer science. It asks interesting questions. Could this paradox change how we see consistency in math? Or maybe it shows problems in AI logic?
The paradox challenges math logic. Schnell's incompleteness theorem show its idea by showing limits in formal systems. Does this paradox show that no system can be both complete and consistent?
That's interesting. In computer science, the paradox also fits. Algorithms, like in AI and machine learning, sometimes have logic problems. Could the liar paradox show the limits of making perfect programs?
It's true. Think about programs that try to check truth or find lies. Meeting paradoxes like this one can make them crash or loop forever. Maybe it shows the hard problems in making systems that think like people.
To sum up, the liar paradox keeps causing debate in mathematics and computer science. It makes us think if some questions will never have clear answers. Are we ready to accept these unknowns as part of our learning journey? When we think about the liar paradox, let's also look at other similar paradoxes. How do these puzzles make truth and logic more complicated? Could they change how we understand everyday contradictions?
There's the barber paradox. A barber shaves everyone who doesn't shave themselves. So, who shaves the barber? This kind of puzzle makes us think again about how we define categories logically. Do these puzzles show limits in our thinking?
Exactly. We see these paradoxes in words too. Take the Sorites paradox. How many grains make a heap? It questions unclear words and limits. Are definitions too strict or too loose, making us face paradoxes?
Yes, and the Russell's paradox in set theory shows this too. It breaks our ideas about sets having themselves. Maybe these paradoxes show deeper problems in how our systems are set up. Should we change our beliefs?
Clearly, these paradoxes make us rethink understanding. They force us to deal with hard questions. Could embracing them instead of solving them deepen our insight into language and life's complexities? Let's talk about the current research on the liar paradox. How does it affect studies in logic and philosophy today? Are researchers getting closer to solving it, or does it still confuse smart people?
This paradox affects modern logical theories a lot. It makes us question our basic ideas about truth. Some researchers want to use it to change or grow old logic systems. Are we seeing a new age of logic?
Yes, and people are very interested in how paradoxes can help AI understand confusing situations. If AI can handle paradoxes, it might think more like us. But are we ready for machines that love the chaos of paradoxes?
Some philosophers think we may never solve the liar paradox completely. It could teach us to accept not knowing. Do these puzzles show us that not all questions need answers, leading us to new and creative thinking?
In conclusion, the liar paradox still challenges and inspires us. It reminds us how complex truth and logic are. Even if we never solve it, is dealing with such paradoxes more important than fixing them? Let's look at how the liar paradox affects our ideas about truth and language. How can accepting this paradox change the way we see everyday contradictions?
The liar paradox makes us rethink what truth means. Philosophers like Kant and Wittgenstein have thought about if language can truly show reality. Do these ideas mean that the way we communicate is always flawed?
It's interesting to think that this paradox shows how personal truth is. Is it possible everyone has their own truth? Is it wrong to look for just one truth?
Yes. The paradox shows the contradictions in our beliefs and the limits of how we understand things. Could it mean our way of thinking is flawed and we need to think differently?
In the end, the liar paradox teaches us to live with complex and uncertain things. By accepting paradoxes, can we better understand language and life's details?